What's up, YouTube? It's your girl AK, and y'all, I finally caught gold. And I made about $500 on this gold trade. Really simple Fibonacci play with break and retest. I just want to go ahead and break it down to y'all. But yeah, y'all, I've been trying to catch gold for the longest. It gave me a great, amazing setup, a great deep retracement, beautiful break and retest. Like this entry, like I'm gonna show y'all. Like I was having trouble like cashing it because I work a 9 to 5. But it just played out really well. Hit my alert. I had time to get in and we were good. So yeah, I held it for about a 1 to 4.5 RR, almost a 1 to 5 RR. If y'all know, if you're new to the channel, I like to catch high risk reward ratio setups. So 1 to 4 RRs and higher is all I aim for. And this is just one of them. So yeah, we made $500. I just want to go ahead and show y'all like how I caught gold and what I was looking at. So let's get into it, into the lab. Okay, YouTube, so we are here. We are in the lab. I am about to break down this gold trade and just give you my thought process of what I saw, what made me enter, my bias, all that. So let's go ahead and get into the charts. Boom. Okay, here we are. This is the trade that I caught, as you can see. We ended up closing around psychological level 5,000. This is where I expected most people to close. They actually did end up pushing up a little bit more. We pushed up a little bit to 5,100 before settling back down, but I did end up closing around here. So I just want to show you like at the time like why I took the trade and what I saw. What I want to do, I actually want to rewind back to before I got to this point. So I actually want to go back to the past. As you see on the weekly, we are obviously bullish, right? We have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We retested this level, we came up, we broke above. Obviously we're bullish on the weekly, right? Okay, so weekly bias is bullish, drops to a daily. Pretty much the same thing, right? Gold has been flying forever, right? We broke structure here, made a high, retested this level. Here's our lower high, push it back up, making a new higher high, making new all-time highs, right? The daily is obviously bullish. Obviously the bias is to buy, right? So all I was waiting for was a nice pullback on the 4 hours. Let's go to a 4 hour, right? 4 hour, as you can see, we are also bullish, right? We were at this level. We broke from this level and we are currently in this correction phase, right? So bullish in all time frames, right? The weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour are all bullish, right? Obviously we are buying. However, I cannot buy price way up here. I have to wait for a retracement. All in all, I just need price to give me some kind of correction, retest, pullback, whatever you like to call it, whatever terminology you like to use, it doesn't matter. I need price to come down because I cannot buy price way up here, right? So right here on the 1 hour, I knew that there was a level here that basically needed to be retested. I saw price came up and we were starting to kind of break structure on the 1 hour. So as you can see, the 1 hour, if I get my drawing tool, we came up, we made a high, right? Came down, made a lower high, made one more higher high, and then right here, we actually ended up breaking this lower high, making structure bearish, right? We came back to retest this bearish structure, and as you can see now, we are making lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So the 1 hour is basically shifted bearish at this point, which is okay. I'm not worried about this because I know my weekly is bullish, my daily is bullish, my 4 hours bullish. Most of my higher time, or really all my higher time frames are saying buy. So this actually gives me extra confidence. Let me explain why. So if I know that all three of my high time frames are saying bullish, but my lower time frame is currently bearish, that just means I'm currently in a pullback, and that's okay. I'm actually about to get priced at a really good discount, right? So check this out. Here is the current 1 hour, right? We are making lower low, lower low, lower low. I know that there is a level right here that price has to come back and retest. Why? Because we are break and retest traders, right? So I see price do this. Price comes down, right? We come and retest this level. Okay, boom. That right there, that retest already tells me, okay, price has grabbed liquidity. At some point, we're looking to go back up. But the question is, how do I know when the correction is over? How do I know when it's time to buy? Great question. So I'm actually going to jump to a 30-minute just to show this 1 hour just a little bit better. As you can see, as we're selling below, I want y'all to notice something. I want y'all to know that these resistance levels are just getting lower and lower, right? And price is not breaking these highs, right? This is basically the characteristics of a downtrend, right? Downtrends, you're gonna have what? You're gonna have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? In a downtrend, what happens? Well, same thing. You are not breaking these highs. The highs are going to get lower and lower and lower, right? So the question was, how do you know when it's time to buy? How do you know when the downtrend is over? It's very, very simple, y'all. Simple break and retest. Check this out. So again, like I said, lower on the downtrend, right? We're making lower low, lower high, lower low, right? The moment price decides to break our resistance level, right? So we break this resistance level. That is already a bullish shift of structure, right? We are now shifting bullish. The character is changing. The structure is changing, right? Why? Because in the downtrend, we don't make higher highs, right? Our highs will get lower and lower. An uptrend is when you see the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So we're already starting to see characteristics of an uptrend, right? But that's not all. I also need price to do another thing. I need price to confirm that we want to go up and not go any lower. How can I do that? That is where the retest comes into play. So boom, price has to come down for a retest, right? It needs to show me that it does not want to go any lower than this low, right? Once it shows me it does not want to go any lower and it begins to actually push back up, this is where I want to look to get in for entry, right? I want to get in when price shows me it doesn't get any lower after the retest and we're continuing up. So this is actually all I've waited for, y'all. That is all I waited for. So right here you can see price is basically getting lower and lower and lower and lower, right? I need y'all to understand something. So right here, my first initial break and retest was this level. I was just looking for price to basically come and break up, right? Which we did. We broke structure. There's structure sitting right here. We broke it and we came back to retest this level. Now I'm looking for the continuation. The way I look for continuation, like I just said, I'm just looking for these resistance levels to get broken, get a retest that they don't want to go any lower. So basically I'm looking for price to just do this, break this resistance, retest, show me it's going to go no lower, push up. That's all I'm waiting for. That's all I'm waiting for an entry, right? Price did exactly that. So price, we basically had these resistance levels, and price, what did we do? We were making, okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we came up. Ooh, now we're failing to make a low. Ooh, now we're pushing up. Now we're breaking this high. What did I just say? What did I just say? This first characteristic of breaking a high, that's not normal. That's not part of a downtrend. That's part of a uptrend. This was my first sign, right? Okay, boom. We get the first sign that price wants to go bullish, right? But what did I say? I can't wait. I can't get in on just the Burkett structure. I can get faked out, right? Price can easily, right? Price can easily just come up, right? And make a high and then come all the way back down, right? He can liquidity sweep me, right? We don't want that. We want price to show us with a retest or a correction that it does not want to go lower than this low and it actually wants to continue to the upside. So right here, I can't just get in on this impulsive move to the upside. No, I have to wait for price to give me this retest as it did right here. Price came down, right? It showed me that it didn't want to go any lower. We kind of had like this equal low and then we started pushing up. And by this point, y'all, this is kind of where I got into the trade, right? So this is where I got in. Okay, y'all, and then as you can see, I basically entered on the continuation back up. Once we got this retest off of this level, right, it showed they want to go any lower and we started pushing back up. That is where I got in, and I was targeting basically these highs. So that's where my Fibonacci comes into play. So if I pull out my Fibonacci again, currently we have these retracement levels, but I'm not really looking at these retracement levels. I'm actually just looking at my targets right now, right? So right here, I like to target Fibonacci levels, right? I like to target the 0 level. That is where liquidity sits. I have liquidity sitting right here. These were our daily highs. These were our all-time highs that we were looking to break, right? We also had the 27 extension that you could target, right? You also had the -61. Personally, I was looking to target psychological level 5,000 because I believe that a lot of people were aiming for this level and people were looking to take their money out the market around this level. So that's where I aim for. And as you can see, price, we did get to psych level 5,000 like really quickly. really quickly. It was like a weekend, and I think the market opened with a gap above, and once I saw the market open above psychological 5,000, that is where I closed my trade. and that's where I secured my profit. And as you can see, screenshot again, I made $500 from that particular trade. I could have held a little longer, but I believed myself that price was gonna sell around this point. I felt like this was a pretty common psychological level. Price actually kind of squeezed its way to like 5,100 before dropping, right? As you can see, we had like a drop at this point, but obviously it didn't matter. Gold just pushes, y'all. Gold just flies forever, as you can see. It just kind of went crazy after that. So I ain't gonna lie, when I saw this, I felt a little bit of FOMO, but I mean, it's gold. I'm just trying to secure my profits, and it's fine, because at the end of the day, if you go to current price, right, we're crashing, right? So I actually have a better opportunity to catch gold at a better price now, so I'm not even tripping about that no more. So yeah, y'all, that was my breakdown on gold. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Basically, yeah, I only trade the higher time frames because, for one, I am a swing trader, right? And then two, the higher time frames are just a lot smoother, a lot easier to read, less noise, and it's simple. I love simple. That's why I trade Break Retest. That's why I trade market structure, because it's super duper simple, right? It makes gold trading super simple. So yeah, if you enjoy videos like this, enjoy swing trading videos or just live trading videos, because I only trade live, I don't trade prop firms, right? This is my live account. Basically what I'm doing, I'm scaling this small account to something amazing. I started this account around $200 in November, and it's currently sitting around a little bit over 2,000 in the end of January. So yeah, it's actually been kind of crazy how much I scaled it in just the past few months. So yeah, if you're interested in like live trading, you're tired of prop firms, I recommend trying this route. I do have a video on risk management that's very helpful. A lot of y'all ask me who my broker is. I use Hanko Trade. They just have a high enough leverage for me to be able to flip my account the way I do, right? So if you want to check them out, I have the link in the bio if y'all do want to check that out. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Basically my goal is just to show that like it's possible to become financially free, even the person that works a 9 to 5 like me, right? Like it's possible to take this journey the live way, right? Live trading, you don't need the prop firms. You can do it like the old school way, back where people that had prop firms, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, consider subscribing if you really enjoyed it. But until next time, y'all, hope y'all have an amazing, wonderful, blessed day. Bye.